Hey, it's Nathan and Danica Reed from thetickettotravel.com. We're in Hatoda, Nepal. We're here today to talk to you about your next backpacking trek in the Himalayas. To start off, we're going to talk about your lodging, what to expect along the trails. After that, we're going to tell you what you need to pack in your backpack. So let's talk a little bit about lodging. The rooms in the lodges along the Himalayan trekking paths are very simple rooms with single beds, a light, place to hang up your clothes, a desk and a window. Rarely will you have your own charging station, although if you do, you can utilize it like a plug-in in the wall. Thankfully, the dining rooms are much more exorbitant than your bedrooms and will also have a heater in the middle of the room to keep you nice and warm.
The lodges all will have a main dining area with quite a good selection of food, different variations of choices. Although the higher you get, the more expensive everything else gets. Food, same food, but maybe 2-3 times the price the higher you get, as well as things like alcohol and chocolate bars, different snacks can be very expensive. So try to pack lots of snacks with you if you can.
Remember, in Nepal, it is okay to barter. It is not insulting, and you can get a lot better deals, especially if you're coming with a larger group and you don't have your own guide and porters, which generally will make the arrangements for you, and you might not get any good deal. But if you're trekking on your own and there's maybe 4 or 5 or more of you, then you can negotiate for a better price. And generally, charging costs, it costs to get clean water, it costs to get a hot shower, so you can ask to include all those in the normal price for the room. They'll be happy to give you a cheaper room in exchange for the fact that they expect you to eat at their restaurant, and that's where they get the majority of their money from.
If you do want to have a hot shower, which is really nice at the end of a long day, and it's cold, so it might be nice just to heat you up for a minute or two. It might be 100 or 200 depending on where you are, but usually they'll just give you a bucket and fill it with somewhat warm, sometimes hot water, and a little scoop bucket to shower yourself with. So be prepared for that. That might be all you get. Sometimes the lodges have a shower with semi-hot water. It might take a while to heat up though. Along the trail as well, there'll be a number of villages you'll be passing through. So you can probably use the washroom if you can find one. If you can speak a little bit of the language, maybe you can ask to use the toilet. It won't be very pretty or clean, but it's someone's personal toilet. So if you're not in a position to do that, you might just have to go squat in the woods. In the lodges, they will have blankets and pillows available there, so you don't have to bring a sleeping bag if you don't want to. They are generally quite clean. You can ask for clean sheets if you're worried they're not clean enough, but they'll give you a pillow, blanket, and sheets to sleep with. If you're cold at night, especially higher up, you can ask for extra blankets, and they'll probably be happy to give you tons. Walking poles. We found at first this seemed kind of silly. Why is everyone walking with these poles? This isn't cross-country skiing. They looked like just like old European people using them, which is totally silly now that we think of it. They're extremely useful. All the experienced hikers and trekkers use them, and for good reason, because they really save your knees. Going up and down is very helpful. They're very compact. The good ones can shrink up really small, and they're very light, but sturdy enough that they'll give you good support. We didn't have any. The friends that we went with did, and we were jealous. So we found some pieces of bamboo, some old pieces of bamboo that we just used. We each grabbed one, and we used that maybe our second, third day along in the trek, and that really saved us during our last trek. So by the end of it, we thought, man, we could really use some poles. So if you're wondering whether or not to get poles, it's probably good to invest in them. If not, you can also rent them from a shop somewhere in Kathmandu or Pokhara. One thing to keep in mind, it's probably going to be colder than you think. Yes, it gets hot on the trail, but once you get back to your lodge, After a shower, the nights are quite cold, so bring enough warm clothes. The evenings and the early mornings too.
Some things that won't go in your backpack are obviously the things you are wearing. So I have a long sleeve shirt, a pullover, a hoodie. I have my trekking pants and socks, and obviously I'll be wearing some kind of hiking shoes as well. The last trek we did, I only wore my Keen's sandals, which I love. They're broken in, they feel comfortable. I just had to get like the tightness right so that it wouldn't produce blisters. But I even went in the snow in these things because your feet are warm and you're moving around. Of course you don't want your feet to get wet, but it wasn't rainy season. So anyways, Keen's are great footwear in general. In my pockets I have a phone, which doubles as a clock, map, compass, ebook, camera, and then have a hanky, which can be wrapped around or used for sweat, blowing your nose, whatever. And then also obviously your wallet. You make sure you have enough money for the whole trek. Only in the really big villages are you going to find an ATM machine. So that's kind of obvious, but don't forget. A photocopy of your passport helps. Additionally, of course, before your trek, you will need your TIMS permit for any trek in Nepal. And then depending on the range that you are trekking in, you'll need a specific permit. For instance, Annapurna uses the ACAP permit, but Everest Base Camp uses a different kind of permit. So you'll have two. You'll have your TIMS, which is to register if you get lost, and the other one is to register for the actual specific park or range. So now let's talk about what goes in your backpack. We're starting with your clothing and your hiking gear. This is our backpack. It's really a cheap backpack. It's one of the lower quality North Face ones from China, direct. And it is a 40-liter backpack, but you want to make sure that your backpack has a cover, rainproof cover. That's important for your rainy days and for protecting all of your stuff, obviously.
When packing your backpack with clothing and gear, try to bring things that are more compact. Things that can roll up nice and small, things that are lightweight, but still sturdy and still warm. For example, if you're bringing a jacket for the cold or for rain, make sure it can roll up nice and small, but it's still gonna keep you warm when you need to wear it. Keep in mind the season that you're going in. If it's rainy season, for sure make sure that you have things like waterproof pants, waterproof jacket. Make sure that you have shoes that are somewhat waterproof.
Every day, wash your clothes, and that way you don't need to bring a lot of clothes. So other than the trekking pants that I'm wearing, I have a second pair of pants that are also zippable, so they can be shorts as well. How cool is that? And they're quick dry. Then I have two other shirts other than the shirts I'm wearing. These are t-shirts, 2 pairs of underwear, and 2 pairs of socks as extra. And then the Gore-Tex shell jacket. Okay, and we have a hat here too. Then we have toque, scarf, and gloves. Plastic bag for your dirty clothes, or one of those mesh things also helps. And a travel towel, really small. You don't need to bring a bulky towel, and you can dry that by the fireplace as well. After you've had your shower, you've washed all your clothes, hang up your towel and your clothes for the day. Now, miscellaneous items. Your first day of trekking is going to be the hardest, especially if your backpack isn't totally set, your shoes aren't totally tied the perfect way. So you will probably want blister bandages, and you'll probably want ibuprofen, especially for your first day. Don't need that many of them. You'll probably want to just buy all these things in Nepal. It'll probably be cheaper than bringing them with you. And of course you should have some altitude sickness tablets only for emergencies, and then also for bad stomach. For your device, your phone, camera, obviously don't forget your USB charger. Now you don't need the wall socket if you're bringing a solar battery charger. It doubles as a flashlight. It can hook out onto the outside of your backpack, and then you can charge all your devices. You don't have to pay for the charging. at the place, and you never have to worry about your batteries. So keep that in mind. Playing cards, especially on altitude days where you have to stay in the lodge, make sure you have playing cards. Very important for us at least. Okay, here we have our water bottle and our steri pen. If you don't have yourself a steri pen, you might want to get instead a Life Straw Go. And that's a water bottle plus filter. The reason being, your steri pen, you'll need to charge it, so you will need electricity for that, while your Life Straw Go, you won't need that at all. Also, one person on the trek should have a multi-tool. So here we have an awesome multi-tool, the Bear Grylls Gerber multi-tool, and it's got whatever the things you'll need, and it's heavy duty and very good. We really like that. But only one person really needs to bring this. Only one person really needs to have a steri pen if you're bringing one of that. Cards, one person. And medication, really one person too, so keep that in mind. Not everybody needs to bring that. This is sattu, which is chickpea flour, available in Nepal, very inexpensive, can be mixed with water and sugar, hot water, cold water, so it's very good protein, obviously, being chickpea flour. Other than sattu, you can bring protein powder. It's just a lot cheaper than protein powder. Here you can pack your snacks, mixed nuts, mixed fruit, hard cheese, whatever you want.
For toiletries, of course, it depends if you're a girl or a guy, what kind of things you're going to need to bring with you. But for everybody, pretty much you need soap. So there's some body soap. We have some things like shampoo packets. These also come in conditioner, just one little tiny packet for one use. Shampoo and conditioner. You have some soap for washing your clothes. You can bring this powder soap or a bar of soap. You can choose. You don't have to bring both, obviously. Toilet paper, if you do need toilet paper. Not everybody needs it, but you probably won't be able to find it on your trip. So if you're bringing it, you're going to have to bring a lot for the whole entire trip. Or you could just not use it like most people do. Obviously deodorant, you're going to be sweaty on the trek. You're going to get lots of sun, so don't forget your sunscreen. Obviously toothpaste and toothbrush, a little bit of lotion because your skin can get quite dry. You could also just use sunscreen, but earplugs. The lodge can get kind of rowdy sometimes. People are noisy at night and you want to get up early for a trek. Lip balm, your lips will definitely get dry. Hand sanitizer for when you want to eat snacks along the way and you can't wash your hands because there's no water. That's pretty much it.
These are the items that I put in my backpack. Danica's will have slightly different items, some things that a guy wouldn't need, and I'll have things that I'm taking like for the group that only one person needs. So keep in mind these things when you're watching this and what you're going to bring. Additionally, obviously, if you're not staying in lodges, then you're going to need a lot more stuff. You're going to need your own tent, pillow, definitely own sleep sheet and sleeping bag, a mat. You'll probably want like a little gas, propane, kerosene cooking stove with a pot, your own spoons, your own cups. So that's a totally different way of trekking, and usually Himalayan trekking, there's lodges along the way. Also, we just talked about like having a phone or a small camera, but if you're bringing more camera gear, obviously that's an additional thing that's going to fill up your bag. But we're just touching the basics and showing you it's possible to use a 40-liter backpack to trek in the Himalayas, even for weeks at a time.
We personally do all of our reading on our tablets or sometimes even on our phone. So if you can, it saves a lot of bulk, a lot of space, a lot of weight to just bring a small tablet or even perhaps just a small smartphone and do your reading on there.
Let's pack this thing. Heavier items on the bottom, keep your shoulders feeling better. You want to keep your bottle on the outside of your bag. Steri pen too. Within the lodge, you might want to have sandals or flip-flops. to carry with you so you're getting outside of your big hiking boots. Okay, so there's a lot of extra room even in a 40 liter to put in more snacks. Probably is what you'd want to fill that with, unless you have some more special needs stuff that you have an idea for. But it is possible to trek in the Himalayas. You can go to Everest Base Camp with a 40 liter. The main thing is that you're banking on the fact that hotels will have their own pillows and blankets and stuff. If you're comfortable with those, then you can sleep in them. Otherwise, you'll have to bring your own sleeping bag and stuff, and then you need a way bigger backpack. But if not, maybe at very least a sleep sheet that you can slip in if you don't want to touch their sheets, or just always ask, give me new sheets every time. And then you'll always have clean sheets there, and you'll be conserving your energy on the way up by having a lighter backpack. It makes a big difference, especially when you're going a lot of days. There's links in the description below for some of the really good items that you might want to buy, the same brand that we have mentioned in this video, so you can check that out after.
Remember to like this video and share it with your friends. Please leave a comment below as well if you can. Give us some more tidbits of information on what you like to bring on your treks. Or maybe this is your first time. If you have any questions for us, let us know.
Take a second to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, please.